Good morning, everyone. My name is Anne-Marie Band. Today is Tuesday, March the 7th, and this is the Moneyball Morning Report for the Benzinga Pro platform. We're starting with the Qs. I don't know why I'm starting with the Qs. I guess it's the one showing some strength. And what we really want to see is how the day is going to move around the edges. So first, let's do what we always do. Let's say, what are the prior two candles telling us? And if we look at the monthly, we can see, listen, we are trying to recover higher, right? We can see that we're placing higher lows. We did have a fade that was immediately bought. And so this fade creates to me a sense of porousness at the bottom of the market, because if it were really that strong, we wouldn't really be able to see price penetrate. So this is a warning signal to me, but it's not a significant one in the near term. If we look at the weekly, we can see again that piercing from last week that immediately recovered. That happened last week, Thursday. A lot of people say, hey, listen, it was at that 200 simple moving average test. Whichever one it is, what it does tell us is that if we held that February low and then it turned right around, it meant that people were waiting for that in order to trade upside. And again, it caught all the short sellers flat-footed, and they had to run for the fire escape. So yesterday, what we saw was a continuation of those short sellers trying to get out of the market, but then the plateau right here at this line, and of course, you know this line, I've had it here for quite some time in the Qs at that 300 level. It began to lose it. I'm using this wick for several days past, and it faded almost to fill the gap. And so today, we have this bounce up again, holding above the close of the prior day. So again, we always do the same thing. Let's go to the last two candlesticks and say, what are we seeing? We're seeing low, higher low, higher low, high, higher high, higher high, but clear demand drying up and supply taking over, forcing prices back down. We have a little bit of a gap to the upside. What do we want to see? We want to make sure that we hold first the high of the prior week, and then the close of the prior day. And those are the things that we're going to watch for. As long as we stay above this 300 area, we're going to have buyers come in and push forward. What's going to be the trigger that says, hey, I need to see if charts are going to roll over? That's going to be the low of yesterday, right? And that number, where is it? Is 299.38, right? And so that's really what we are going to look at, the 299.38 area. All right, so let's go, since we were here at the Qs, let's go to the NQ. Same sort of thing, the NQ held, it gapped down and then closed higher. This is the region that's the battleground, right? The high of last week, the close of last week, and that is going to be our support floor on the beginning of the day. Where are we? We're well above it. Let's go backwards. Two candlesticks. It's telling us people are still buying, but how much they're buying is going to be of interest to me. So, do we have upward pressure? Yes. Pullbacks or buy zones. Are we likely to press forward today? Well, here's where it gets really interesting. What we have coming up is rollover. And for those of us in the futures market, rollover presents a little bit of a difficulty because half of the pressure is sitting in the current contract and the other half of the pressure is sitting in the June contract. And so in this space, we have a little bit of a harder time seeing where the template is going to hold us for future motion. And so we really are going to have to get very, very tactical. My thought is the same as all of these others. Listen, the last two candlesticks showing higher lows and higher highs. So the pullback is going to bring buyers. Where do we want to be concerned? Where we go, hey, listen, if we lose this area, we need to take a peek at things pretty closely. My thought is the 40-49, 40-47 area. So put an alert there. If we start losing that area and we don't immediately recapture it, it tells us that the sellers are going to be in the pressure point and will try to take over. As I mentioned in yesterday's video, a ton of sellers down here getting caught flat-footed a couple of days ago. In a recent post by Jim Dalton, he said he hadn't seen that much short positioning in 10 years. So it's going to take a couple of days for these shorts to get out, reposition, and then continue on. The market is really a slosh. We have the Beige Book tomorrow. We have the Powell at the Senate today and Congress tomorrow. We've got a couple of economic releases on Thursday. We've got a very big group called CERAWeek. It's all things energy related. That could really push the market around just a little bit. And then we've got the employment numbers on Friday. It is going to be volatile whipsaw action, and we have to watch for where pressure shows that the power is sitting. And that is going to be the key for us. Notice the SPY weaker than the Qs, weaker than the ES. This is all part of rotational motion where you're going to see disconnects because contracts are rolling, right? And all the big contracts are starting to roll. We have rollover that begins today, Wednesday, and Thursday. The official date turns when we have the most volume sitting in the current contract. And so pullbacks, still buy zones. Watch out at that 404 level. Good luck trading. I know that was a little long, but we've got a lot to look at today, so stay frosty.